Hello, Sanbanani Jimelang Abshene. Hello, it is finally the Champions League final. It is the 29th of May 2021, a day that every single Champions League playing team has been waiting for. We are down to the last two. Welcome to the Touchline. My name is Oarevledi Poko, and for tonight's special episode, we are talking everything that has to do with your Champions League final. We have Mr. Chad Peterson, who's always a regular guest. Welcome to Touchline, Chad. How are you tonight?
Yes. I'm alive. I'm well. I
That's
had my
good.
first dose of coffee for the evening. You know, it's cold.
Why?
It's cold here in Mzansi. You need to stay alive. You need to stay alive.
That's
You know,
it, man. I
tears
mean,
don't come down.
a lot of people have not made it to this final. They have not seen what we've been seeing. So to be alive and here with us on Touchline is a big, big blessing in itself. We also have who the fuck is Gamo. Probably shouldn't be saying it like that, but he probably will be popping up on our screens anytime soon. So chat, let's actually get this, let's get this underway. The lineups have come out now about 10 minutes ago. I think Chelsea's one is a little bit. There he is! Yay! Hi, Kamo.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic.
I just need to
Sorry,
mention
sorry I
one
was
thing.
delayed.
Yeah.
I just need to mention one thing. Kamu, you realize that Madibs in the 2010 World Cup final also wore that hat.
Shade.
Yeah. He had
No,
dreads,
where's
you know
the
what I'm saying?
shade? That's iconic.
Okay. At
That
least, because
was
I was
like,
about to say.
yeah,
I was
that
about to
was
say,
like his
babe.
last major public
Great minds think
appearance
alike.
of like all time.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that is
Yeah.
some sort of luck to whichever team that is going to win tonight. So let's get into the conversation. We had 32 teams that started out this journey back in September. We are now in May, and it is the final. Gamo, have you looked at the starting lineups? Looking at Manchester City, we are in Porto, we're in Portugal after the venue had to be changed because obviously COVID regulations did apply. Have you looked at the lineups? Looking at Manchester City's lineup, were there any surprises?
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't start with any defensive midfielder. No Rodri, no Fernandinho. So I think that, yeah, that's going to be a big uh, advantage for Chelsea to exploit, because that's basically no defense. But I think Ruben Diaz should hold it down for the City defense. But yeah, for me, that's the biggest surprise so far, as far as City
All
is
right.
concerned.
With you, Chad, when you looked at the starting lineup, were there any surprises or something that you knew was going to happen, such as Sergio Aguero not starting? Because obviously everybody's looking forward to his last game in that sky blue shirt.
Now, I know it wasn't going to start. We all knew it wasn't going to start. And it's a sad
Yeah.
thing because my man literally said, I will leave this club when Man City
Mm.
win the Champions League. And look, now he's leaving. So is that a
Yeah.
good omen? Is that a bad omen? We don't know yet. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Maybe,
But,
maybe the Africans came together there at Chelsea and did their thing.
why did it have to be the Africans? I mean, also just the fact that, the back line of Chelsea is not even African. Well, there are Germans and then, French players there. So what do you mean the Africans had to, come together and speak to their gods?
Rudiger's African. Antonio Rudiger is an African defender. N'Golo Kante, the most African player on the pitch. Edouard
But
Mendy is
he
African.
but he is a World Cup winning, French player. Looking at obviously the starting lineups, let's look at some of the players of the season who have excelled in this competition. We're going to start off with Manchester City, the home team in this regard. Riyad Mahrez is starting, and obviously we all know what a season he's had in Champions League. Gamo, is there any special moments that you remember from Riyad Mahrez? Any goals, any style of play, something that he's done, obviously that just stood out for you?
I think the second leg against PSG was a very big
Mm.
was like a big like statement for him as far as like
Mm.
announcing himself as the world-class player that he is, because a lot of people sleep on Mahrez. I don't know why, but I think that second leg, like, cemented himself like within that echelon of world-class players at City. It speaks to why he's starting today. I mean, City could have went with anybody else, but Pep knew what was good, and he started the Algerian captain. So yeah, man.
Yeah, that's so true. And Chad,
I
looking at
think
how
that
Phil
was
Foden.
his magnum opus. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I'm also going to look at, Phil Foden, who's also had an exceptional season throughout, not just necessarily in Champions League. He has grown in the game. He's one person that they always look out for as well lately within the team. What do you think he's going to, bring to the team tonight?
Oh, Phil Foden is honestly a top 5 young player in the world. It's incredible to see what this boy does with the ball at his feet. Incredible.
Yeah.
You have to be if you're keeping Raheem Sterling on the bench. Playing out of position, mind you, to keep Raheem Sterling on the bench. That is incredible. The kid's magic. So like the kid's magic. And I feel for Raheem, honestly, because he hasn't put a foot wrong. I don't know when last he put a foot wrong in a City shirt, but Phil Foden is just magic. I feel bad that there isn't space for him in the midfield yet, but his time will come.
Agreed. I mean, he's very young, and also he's shown his diversity with regards to how many positions he's played. I mean, since we've been introduced to Phil Foden, he's played a number of positions for Pep Guardiola. But also just looking at that midfield that you're talking about, Pep Guardiola today went with Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, and already that for me just says he's going to be hoying those long shots forward. Phil, here you go. Raheem, here you go. Because Raheem Sterling is also starting tonight with Kevin De Bruyne captaining the side. Can you imagine Kev captaining the side? But I'm guessing as well that Fernandinho's going to play at some stage, because you know how it is. You cannot leave your captain out. Kama, how do you feel about Manchester City's starting lineup as a whole? Do you remember this is Manchester City's first appearance in a UCL final? And also, another crazy stat, every single team that's ever played in a Champions League final for the first time has gone on and lost. What do you think that does to City?
You know what? I think because he has, like I said at the beginning of the show, I think because he hasn't started Fernandinho or Rodri, and he's went with such an attacking midfield, he's setting himself up. He really wants to secure the goals, as quick as possible. Also,
yes.
And I think he's knowledgeable about the last 2 games that they've played against Chelsea. They've lost both of them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he needs as much firepower as he can get to breach that backline, because he hasn't managed to do it in the FA Cup final, and he didn't manage to do it on enough occasions in the last Premier League game. So yeah, man, the signs are looking good for Chelsea, in my opinion.
Chad, do you agree with Gamo? How do you feel about the fact that this is Pep Guardiola's first Champions League final in 10 years since he last won with the likes of Messi? What do you think his thinking was going into this final?
First of all, Pep will always be a thorn in the side of Manchester United, Sham. But looking at this lineup, I feel like he's gone on with a point to prove. He's making a statement. And look, let's not think that Man City don't have defensive midfielders, because he's brought in the whole fullbacks coming into the midfield thing. So basically, João Cancelo doubles as a CDM. Let's not forget that. The likes of João Cancelo doubles as a CDM. Alexander Zinchenko can double as a CDM at some point. But the fact that he said, no, we don't need someone to hold is
it's bold. It's bold.
Because Chelsea are a structured team, and if you play structured football, they can hit you on the counter. That's a Chelsea trait, even before Thomas Tuchel. It's a Chelsea thing. Chelsea believe in counterattacks. and disrupting your structure. So at the end of the day, he doesn't want a chess game. He wants to win.
He wants to win. And that should be every manager's mentality. You reach a cup final, anything can happen. Red cards happen, penalties happen. Ask Manchester United. They also told Bruno Fernandes, you live by a penalty, you die by a penalty. So we know that in any cup final, anything can happen. So let's look at the darker side of the blue team. That is Chelsea. Looking at Thomas Tuchel's side, do you remember that Thomas Tuchel is in his second consecutive Champions League final with a different team, making him the first manager ever to achieve this. I'm pretty sure he does not want to be the first manager ever also to lose a second consecutive final. Looking at how he set up his charges, you mentioned the counter. Timo Werner is playing, Mount is playing, and Kai Havertz. Another person I was a little bit disappointed that didn't make the team was Hakim Ziyech, considering the fact that every single time he's played them, he's made a difference. How do you see Thomas Tuchel's team playing today, Gamo?
I'm not. Yeah, the Ziyech omission is a bit weird, but it's fair because he hasn't really played that much like under Tuchel. He was more of a Lampard guy. Like he played his best football under Lampard, but yeah, the Chelsea team is what you'd expect. I thought he was gonna Kovacic instead of Jorginho.
That was my disappointment. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like I remember when Chelsea played Arsenal, like Jorginho was like he's the reason we won that game essentially. You know what I mean? So sometimes he can be a liability, but I'm guessing like today that he trusts. Tuchel has put his faith in him, and yeah, man, if they get a penalty, if Chelsea get a penalty, he's gonna score it. So yeah, maybe that's what he's thinking was as far as like putting him in the scheme is concerned.
I agree. Chad, what do you think about what Gamu just said? And do you see any game plan considering what he's put out for Manchester City? What do you think he's going to go with?
Chelsea, in my opinion, are looking to play a patient game. They realize that, the best way to go about it is the way that most people fail. But I feel like Thomas Tuchel has a plan. That being said, Chelsea are looking to have structure and looking for the three players up front to provide that X factor, that impact on the break.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel that Hakim just started over Kai. Because Hakim can his vision is impeccable. Kai hasn't convinced me yet. He hasn't convinced me. I apologize. I'm sorry. He hasn't convinced me. But looking at the
I don't think you're sorry, but say it anyway. It's fine.
Chelsea have a strong defensive base. With that defensive lineup, it's incredible. And N'Golo obviously holding it down, man of the match.
Already.
Chelsea are coming with that plan of you can come at me, you won't get through. And from there we'll see what happens. So Tuchel is ready to play chess. The difference is is Pep playing chess or is Pep playing Murabaraba?
He's always playing. You see, that's the thing about Pep, that he's always playing some kind of game. And unfortunately, every single time we thought he was playing, we saw in previous seasons where semi-finals, he got knocked out by teams we never saw. Lyon in the past season, when they got knocked out, it was one of those things where I think already starting lineup on his part, he got it all wrong. And tonight, he seems to also be going for that risque kind of lineup. But now let's get into predictions, because we all want to get fired up and get ready for that final that we'll be playing in about 30 minutes' time. Kamugelo, who do you see winning and what is the scoreline?
I see Chelsea winning. As much as that breaks my heart, I see Chelsea winning.
And London, man, say what we need. Yes! Do you want to be bold in the prediction? What's the score? 2-1.
Yeah, 2. For sure.
Okay. Do you want to maybe say who's going to score? Do you see anybody, because, Chelsea this season has a lot of flops because, Timo Werner has been regarded as a flop, unfortunately. Who do you see the surprise package scoring that winning goal?
I don't know, but I think Jorginho's going to score. For as much as we've been saying he's not that good of a player, but he's probably gonna get a pen and score, like he always does. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, and the penalty is probably gonna come from Kyle Walker because we all know what he does in the box. He does weird things, that man, in games you don't expect him to. And Chad, are you gonna go, in a different direction and take it to the blue side of life and give City the win, or are you also going with Kama's prediction?
You give me stress. It's tough to call. If in 90 minutes, I think City might take it, but after 90, it's a Chelsea game.
So do you think it's extra time winning it or penalties winning it?
Pens.
Penalties. Okay, but if you're saying Manchester City, if it's 90 minutes, are you saying this is a scoring goal game, or is it a 1-0 to Manchester City, or you're not trying to be that bold about it?
I'm not trying to be bold. I'm really not. I apologize. I really am not trying to be bold right now. I'm just trying to enjoy a good final. I'm just trying to enjoy a good final. Just know I'm the biggest N'Golo Kante fan, but I'm also a huge Aguero fan as well. So
I agree with you on that one. And that's the one thing this week that you and I agreed on, Inside joke, everybody on Touchline. Chad and I have been fighting all week. He refuses to leave me alone, but it's fine. We love him anyway. Gentlemen, thank you so much for those predictions. The starting lineups are out. Chelsea has theirs out. Manchester City has theirs out. I have my shirt on. I'm looking all blue. I'm looking the darker blue. I've never been scared and vocal to express how I feel about my football team. Who the F is Kamo? Thank you so much for joining us for this pre-game touchy kind of conversation. We'll see you again at 11 p.m. for the post-match interview. Chad, please enjoy the game. Please enjoy N'Golo Kante by himself. Aguero Mona when he says goodbye to the fans at the end,
Enjoy it, guys.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You heard it here on Touchline SA. My name is Warabili Poko. It is Chad Peterson. It is Who the F is Kamo. Please enjoy the Champions League final. I know I am going to. Please do follow us on social media at Touchline SA on Instagram and Twitter. We'll try and keep you up to date. I might get too excited and forget. So you'll know that if my team is winning, I'll probably, not be on my phone because I'll be outside screaming and telling all the neighbors how great we are. But I'm pretty sure if Manchester City is winning, I'll be here updating all of y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into Touchline. We will see you later on for the post-game interviews. Good night.
Yes.